Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to call this meeting of the Harrisonville Board of Aldermen to order. If you would stand and recite the pledge with us, please.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Roll call, please.
Alderman Davidson.
Present.
Alderman Franklin.
Present.
Alderman Turner.
Present.
Alderman Dorhoff.
Present.
Alderman Milner.
Present.
Alderman Reese.
Present.
Alderman Mills is excused. Alderman Zaring is excused. Mayor Bowman.
Present. Thank you. We do have a quorum. Good evening, everyone. We do not have any ceremonial matters this evening to cover. Mr. Ratliff, did you have any agenda request forms from the public this week?
No, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. I'd like to ask you at this point to please silence your cell phones and the audio on your laptops if you haven't already done so. Moving on to the approval of the minutes. Of the minutes of the regular meeting, Board of Aldermen, July 18th, they were in your packet. If you've read them and you've had a chance to see them, I would entertain a motion.
Motion to approve.
Second.
The motion from Alderman Davidson with a second from Alderman Milner. All in favor of the approval, say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Thank you. Those minutes stand approved. The minutes of the work session, July the 18th, also were in your packet. If you've read them and there are no corrections, I would entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve. Second.
The motion is from Alderman Franklin with a second from Alderman Reese. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Thank you. Those minutes stand approved. The minutes of the special meeting, July the 20th, were also available to you in your packet. If there are no corrections, I'll entertain a motion.
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
I have a motion from Alderman Dorhoff with a second from Alderman Turner. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Thank you. Those minutes stand approved. Board, we have no agenda items this evening, so we're going to move on to Alderman and committee reports. I'll start with Alderman Dorhoff.
I don't have anything this evening.
Okay.
Everybody stay cool. It's going to be a hot one this week.
Yeah, for sure. Alderman Reese.
Not a thing, thank you.
Alderman Franklin.
I just wanted to mention I was out at the park last night for a celebration, and it was really nice. Everybody, there was quite a few people out there enjoying the dog park, the pool, bike riding, and walking around. So it was just nice to see everybody out and about. And I also wanted to let you know that school is right around the corner, so Bright Futures is looking for the community's help with school supplies. Community Bank up on 291 Highway is one of the places you can drop it off. Your school supplies, you can also drop them off at the administration building. There's Blue Barrels in strategic stores, Price Chopper and Walmart and so forth to help with that as well. So anyway, help with the kiddos with their school supplies throughout the year. So that's all.
Grant, do you have a Blue Barrel at the community center?
So we have a Blue Barrel, but typically it's around for used sports gear, and we partner with Bright Futures. I believe it's Bright Futures.
Oh, yeah.
With that, so.
Okay, good. Awesome. Thank you. Alderman Milner.
To tie in with what Sandy said, if there's also always a need for underwear and socks, all sizes, from pre-K to high school. So if you're out and about shopping and see great deals, or at Sam's Club, grab some big packs and bring those in, because those are always a necessity. Other than that, that's all I got.
Okay, thank you. Alderman Turner.
Just to remind everybody to get out and vote tomorrow. Tomorrow's a big election, a lot of stuff to vote on, so just get out and make your voice heard.
Okay, thank you. Alderman Davidson.
I have nothing there.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Ratliff, report from the city administrator.
Just to remind you all, August 10th is a special meeting here in the council chambers. Hopefully finalizing those things which we were on a couple weeks ago. The airport runway is continuing to move forward. Environmental assessments from a host of different environmental agencies that the engineer is working with to identify obstructions or any of the airspace out at the airport and move that forward. The Muddy Creek Regional Retention Storm Water Mitigation Project continues to move forward. Last week slowed down a little bit by rain, but we're thankful for the rain, and should be continuing to advance forward this week. Then World Street Extension TDD project, and just really kind of remind everybody this is a three-way project between the city, the business owners, and property owner, and it's a good opportunity for our community. And tomorrow we'll be meeting with the engineers to kind of go over some of the concepts in which they have to try to get ready for the TDD meeting, which is in August 24th. And then from there, we'll hopefully be able to give you guys more updates on that as well. Lake Harrisonville Intake Stretcher Project is continuing to move forward. DNR has provided a construction permit. Once front-end spec documents are completed, then we can advertise that project. Mark STP, as you all remember, each year, like where we got on Missouri Highway 2 for the bridge there, these are continuing federal dollars that went out. We submitted 3 projects: the intersection of Independence and South Street, and the second project was South Commercial Extension, and the third was the East Elm Street and Missouri Highway 7 project. And so those projects would go in and they'll be rated by Mark, and based upon that they'll probably send back numbers, and we'll argue that their numbers aren't good enough and we want higher numbers for those projects, and we'll keep going from that angle. Usually about September, October is when they finalize the scores and the funding for those projects. The water treatment plant, as you all recall about the fluoride and the discussion of fluoride, and we submitted a grant for that. The second grant paperwork was sent in to Delton Dental, and it was signed. And so what that'll do is continue on, and we utilize the grant dollars for the fluoride and the new fluoride. What do they call that, Carl? New fluoride liquid.
Liquid
That
fluoride.
would go in there. And then CWSS, as you recall, we always talk about the infiltration of the sewer system, and so they've been making a concerted effort with mapping and going out and looking, especially around in the creek area, because Carl and them feel like it's got to be in a creek area that we're continuing to see, even in dry weather, a continuation of it. And they found 2 locations within the creek. One was a 16-inch in diameter pipe that was taking in all of the creek as a process of that, and another 8-inch pipe. And so those getting fixed, Carl feels that it'll make an impact to the I&I, and they're continuing to move down through the creek areas to look for any of those piping that would be open or available. And then the police department worked with the North Kansas City Police Department in their ceremony, and our prayers go out to the family there in North Kansas City and their loss, and also the police department there as well. And then revisions for the Church and Dwight project has come in. That project now with those 2 permits is a $3.7 million project that the codes department is working with them, our building inspectors are working with them on. And then some of you have been maybe hearing this, and the old Russell Stover's building was purchased by, I always say their name wrong, Pinnacle. Did I say it right? Pinnacle Grill, and they'll be moving into that location so that they'll be able to have dining.
Used to be the Panda Express, is that
Yes.
where they're at?
Mm-hmm.
So that'll be where they're relocating from the old Dairy Queen.
And my understanding was they're also going to have sit-down seating, and not
Right.
just going to be
That's
carry-out. They're also going to have sit-down dining. So,
So that'd be a nice amenity to the south part of town for a restaurant. With that, Madam Mayor, that's all I have.
thank you. Questions from the media? Dennis.
Just real quick, the meeting on August 10th, what is that about?
That is further discussion about the Chapter 353 abatement program that the city's working on. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Thank
You're welcome. Anything else? Okay, thank you. I just wanted to update the board. I know you were expecting to have the issue with the anti-monotony, accessory buildings, accessory dwelling units on the agenda for tonight. That has been postponed by one meeting because we had to postpone it for planning and zoning. Inadvertently, it was not added to the agenda. It was posted correctly as a public hearing in the newspaper, but it was not. It was inadvertently left off of the agenda, and one of the planning and zoning commissioners had an issue with that. So my recommendation was that we push that back on planning and zoning, which pushes it back on our meeting. So you'll see that at the next meeting. Also, wanted to update you on the recruitment incentive for the PD and the FD. You should see that on the next board meeting as well. So just want to kind of give you those updates. That's all I have. 6:11, is that what we see?
Did you say that louder?
New record?
So what I'd like to do is I'm going to entertain a motion for adjournment, and then I'd like to ask you just to remain in your seats, and we'll move right on into work session and get out of here in time. How's that sound? Okay.
Second.
I have a motion from Alderman Dorhoff with a second from Alderman Turner. All in favor of adjournment, say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Thank you. We're adjourned.